We're learning about the impact conservative activist Charlie Kirk's nonprofit Turning Point USA had on conservative politics in Arkansas. Kirk was shot and killed at a public speaking event at Utah Valley University this afternoon. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman is here in the studio right now with reaction from local universities. Laura.
That's right, Morgan. Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist known for founding Turning Point USA in 2012, was speaking at Utah Valley University when a gunshot wound to his neck proved fatal. The event was part of his American Comeback Tour, which had just started back up.
Turning Point USA became influential on college campuses and within Republican politics.
He was a co-founder of Talking Point USA, with the express goal of rallying support for conservative value on campuses.
I spoke with Williams Yamcam, who is an associate professor of history and social sciences from the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, about Kirk's role in more open conservatism on college campuses.
Whether we agree with his opinions or not. So tip of our hat to him for at least getting students to believe in the process, to believe in the political process. I'm hoping that those that he touched in the political process will continue that spirit of engagement, engaging one another, but in a civil, peaceful way.
Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen released this video statement to 5 News.
I mean, we've got to the point where we can't have a conversation anymore. I mean, what did Charlie do? He went to campuses and he had an open dialogue with college students, our future leaders of our nation.
The University of Arkansas in Fayetteville has its own chapter of Turning Point USA, sending 5 News this statement saying, quote, "This has been a very hard time for all of us. Emotions are quite reasonably high and we aren't equipped to say anything more than this. Charlie lived an honorable life of service and sacrifice. His message for years has been that violence occurs when we cannot speak with one another. We need to learn to talk with one another again."
He was a public figure, controversial, and to many an inspiring public figure.
Dr. John Davis is an associate professor of political science at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. He worries about his students who found a voice through Kirk.
It's going to affect a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And then I guess the other thing is the broader element of political violence in this country.
Arkansas politicians shared comments about Kirk's death. Representative Steve Womack released a statement of condolences. Political violence has no place in our country, ever. My prayers are with Charlie Kirk and his family.
I pray that we can find a way to disagree. We can find a way to engage in civil discourse and discussion in ways that do not lead to political violence.
2 persons of interest were taken into custody and questioned by investigators, but were later released. The FBI says the manhunt for a suspect is still ongoing. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
Thank you, Laura. And we're also following a high school shooting near Denver, Colorado today. Police say a person that's believed to be a student opened fire at Evergreen High School this afternoon before turning the gun on himself. Deputies say they were inside the school and found the gunman within minutes. No officers fired their weapons. Police say this shooting happened both inside and outside the building around 12:30 this afternoon. As of the latest update, 2 student victims are being treated at a hospital, 1 in critical condition. One student described the moments when he and his classmates took cover.
And like 30 other students ran to the band room. It was like one of the closest rooms, and we hid right around the door corner where they told us to hide. And we waited there for a few minutes. And then there's a door to the outside on the other side of the band room from where we were hiding. There's a guy there. He yelled some things, and he shot at us at least twice. I don't think anyone was injured there.
Parents and students were later reunited at an elementary school later in the day. Well, meanwhile, here at home, the city of Bentonville has voted to increase wastewater rates. Residents can expect to pay 7% more starting on January 1st. The city council unanimously approved that rate hike during last night's council meeting. This will affect residential and commercial rates from 2026 to 2030. City leaders say the rate hike is needed to cover rising operating and capital costs. Well, Fayetteville Public Schools made several changes this school year, including security upgrades and new policies. Now, 1 month in, 5 News reporter Emily Moss checks in on the progress.
It's just been a very, very peaceful start to the school year.
Fayetteville Deputy Superintendent Julie Williams says a month into the school year, their new policies are running smoothly. From new metal detectors at the high school.
The only thing that it might throw an error on is their laptop, so they know now to hand their laptop over as they walk through.
To software that confirms identities.
We actually have our badge system that detects whether that badge is one of our own students, and it matches the student who's walking through.
Already, the new tech has been put to the test after a false alarm at the nearby university.
I think for us, the experience with the shutdown at the university the other day was a more peaceful experience for us because we knew that there were no weapons on campus.
That false alarm also prompting the effects of the new bell-to-bell no-cell law, preventing students from sending out false messaging of their own or panicking their parents more.
Normally, there would be many people trying to show up at our schools and to take students out of the school. And as you know, with the secure lock, we need everyone to secure in place, and we just continue to conduct class business as usual.
Williams says engagement has spiked in classrooms and with each other.
Students are speaking face to face, they're having lunch together, they're having conversations.
And overall, there's been less disciplinary incidents with kids across the district, now that phones have been put away.
It has been so smooth compared to what I normally would experience with maybe incidents that would normally start with conversations online through a cell phone or through a chat.
Going into the rest of the year now, the district continues to adapt to keep distractions at bay.
Some of the conversations which may have used to have been on a cell phone were transitioning into Google Chat while students were in class working. So we disabled Google Chat as well. And always changing, always learning.
Covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
Well, the Arkansas Division on Law Enforcement Standards and Training is launching a new online course to train and certify 911 dispatchers. The department says this new course will be a groundbreaking step toward modernizing emergency communications training across the state. The course teaches the foundations for 911 response. That includes call handling, radio procedures, emergency response coordination, and crisis communication. An agreement between Fort Smith Police and Choctaw Law Enforcement is making history. A new memorandum of understanding now allows Fort Smith Police to respond to calls at the Choctaw Casino. This type of agreement is a first for the state of Arkansas. The Pecola Casino is on Choctaw land in Oklahoma, but some parking lots are over the state line in Arkansas. Choctaw Chief Gary Batten says with this in place, law enforcement is empowered to better do their job.
If somebody violates a crime on either side, that means we have cross jurisdiction, which means we go arrest the bad guy, and then we worry about which jurisdiction do we properly prosecute them in.
Fort Smith Mayor George McGill says the new agreement could be an example for how state and federal law enforcement can coexist. Looking ahead, the city of Rogers is starting construction on a major project that will build a new fire station and make local improvements to a local park. The city says the new Fire Station 4 will have expanded capacity and new modern design improvements. They say the busiest station in the city will also have more room for future growth. Olive Street Park will also get some new features added, more basketball and pickleball courts, a shaded gathering space for events and picnics, and an improved trailhead. Both of those projects are expected to be completed by 2027. Well, tomorrow at the Arkansas State Capitol, visitors can pay their respects to former state senator Gary Stubblefield. He'll lie in state in the second floor rotunda tomorrow, September 11th from 10 to 2. He died last Tuesday at the age of 74, and his funeral is set for the end of this week in Franklin County. Well, new tonight, after more than 2 months in the hospital, one of the 3 people critically injured after a fire broke out a few days before July 4th at a fireworks stand in southeast Oklahoma is headed home. Brad Llewellyn is a firefighter at Camp Gruber and was helping make a delivery of fireworks at a Choctaw Nation building in Tuskahoma when the accident happened. His wife Talisha says he's ready to go home on Friday.
Our doctor and burn care staff here have been phenomenal, but they want him to get home and heal. He had so many surgeries that they're like, you just need to go home and rest and then decide what do you want us to work on next.
She says she and her family have been overwhelmed with support since the fire, and she says she can't say thank you enough.